two teams that have the easiest scenarios to go to the playoffs in Week 13. You have the Kansas City Chiefs. They will play the Las Vegas Raiders on Black Friday. When that happens and the Chiefs get a win, they will be able to make the playoffs if and only if the Dolphins lose tomorrow on Thanksgiving. If that happens, Chiefs make the playoffs. But you have also the Buffalo Bills. If they win against the 49ers on Sunday and the Dolphins also lose, they will clinch their division and make the playoffs. So, Ty, is it likely for these teams to make the playoffs? You can talk Chiefs first if you want to, then we can talk Bills. We can kind of split it up. Let's go Kansas City. What's the possibility for Kansas City making the playoffs we'll know Friday for sure. Let me know. I know you're doing this.
I got a question
Go ahead
for
and
you
tell me.
first.
You can ask me something. That's fine.
Now, they both make the playoffs if the Dolphins lose and they win, right? It doesn't cancel out one another. Okay,
no,
that's
because
just
they clinch their division, so it's not like a wild card spot or anything. They will clinch. That's how bad that that's how bad the rest of their teams are.
The
We talked
AFC
about
East. The AFC East sucks.
Oh yeah. Well, the Chiefs, they only have one loss, so they're looking pretty good. But this is it. You make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs start taking it slow after this week because, dude, you clinched the playoffs. What more is there to do other than the postseason? Think about it. If you go to the playoffs week 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you have 5 weeks to prepare for the first postseason. Mm-hmm. If you're the number one seed, you get an extra week as a bye. You get 6 weeks to prepare for your playoff game.
I don't know that they'll like take off because they still got to fight for the 1 seed.
They will. They won't take off yet. They'll just slow it down. I feel like they'll just slow it down.
Yeah, I think you're right. No,
so let's go Kansas City.
Definitely. Okay, yeah, we'll go Kansas City.
And you let me know what's going on over there.
I mean, yeah, you ask if that scenario is likely to happen. Yeah, I think I honestly would pick both of those games how you described it. I think the Chiefs will beat the Raiders this weekend, or on Friday rather, and I think the Dolphins will lose to the Packers tomorrow. Packers, by the way, woof, they've been playing good. They're scary too, but yeah, I think both of those things will happen. Chiefs have just been really weird this year. Buffalo, we talk about them. They were able to beat them. But they struggled last week. It came down to Patrick Mahomes again making a big play and putting them in field goal range and win the game on a field goal, 30-27 against the Carolina Panthers. It's definitely interesting to see how they aren't as dominant maybe as they look, but they do find ways to win. And honestly, in the NFL, because it's just not like college football, a win is a win in the NFL. Okay. You don't get measured by your strength of wins or your strength of schedule or anything like that. It's just simply a clinch the playoffs or not clinch the playoff scenario. I think that'll definitely happen with the Chiefs. I don't know if they'll make it as far this year, though. I really don't see it, Connor, and I don't know how you feel about that, but I really don't see it. We'll talk about the Bills. I think they'll end up winning this weekend too. And like I said, already mentioned the Packers Dolphins game. I think the Packers will win, and that would help them out. Good for the Bills, man. They've got a terrible division, and they just get to roll right through that division. The only team that is competitive is the Dolphins. They're starting to get a little bit better with Tua back. Took them a little bit, but they played well last week. I think the Bills, though, and I don't know about you, I think the Bills are more dangerous than the Chiefs. I think the Bills are really good, and Josh Allen is not turning the ball over. And if Lamar doesn't win the MVP, he could certainly be the MVP this year. Uh, he has been really good. That offense has been good, and that defense always seems like it's pretty good too. So yeah, I think that'll happen this week, and I think Buffalo. You know what, Connor? I would love to see a Buffalo and KC rematch. What do you think?
No, I actually was going to talk about that. This is an interesting thing, Ty. In the regular season, we just saw the Buffalo Bills beat the Chiefs. Josh
I think I
Allen is
heard this
four,
stat.
4-1 against
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes in the regular season.
Mhm.
Patrick Mahomes, though, is undefeated against Josh Allen
Yep.
in 3 games in the
Mhm.
playoffs. He just has not been able to get over that Kansas City hump, and not really anybody has either. There's only been one team that's gotten over that hump, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals, and they're out of playoff contention. There's pretty much no way they could make the playoffs. Uh,
Yeah.
but Josh Allen has continually struggled against Patrick Mahomes. If we somehow were able to see these two teams in the AFC Championship, but remember, we still have Baltimore in the picture and several other
Mhm.
great teams in the AFC. What are the chances Josh Allen finally gets the best of Patrick Mahomes and beats him in the postseason?
Honestly, what it reminds me of too, and I think they can do it this year. I really do. I think they're better than Kansas City. What it reminds me a lot of, though, and I've talked about this with my dad before, in one of their previous, I can't remember what year it was, but when they played in the playoffs, um, that rivalry between those two reminds me so much of the Peyton Manning and Tom Brady rivalry. So much it reminds me of that rivalry. I mean, and the thing with it's like Brady, or it's like Mahomes is Brady and Allen is Manning. With Mahomes, he's won so much. With Allen, he hasn't been able to crack the case yet in the playoffs. But this year, I think it could be different, kind of similar to how it was in 2006 when Manning beat him in the AFC title game and led him to the Super Bowl and won his first Super Bowl against the Chicago Bears in Miami. I think I don't know if Buffalo can win the Super Bowl this year. I think they've got the team to do it, but I think this rivalry resembles that Manning Brady rivalry so much. There's two really good quarterbacks. But yeah, it's so crazy. I don't know if anybody thinks this way. I don't know if you think this way. I know that's just something me and my dad have in common, as we kind of think of this rivalry as sort of what Manning and Brady used to be. Be interesting to see if Allen can replicate what Manning did in 2006 and beat him in a playoff game.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I was actually going to say that. It took Manning 7 years. So it's 2006 was his 7th year in the NFL. Um, to beat Brady. I mean, it took that long, and right
Hmm.
now this is Josh Allen's 7th year in the NFL. It
Kind of sounds similar,
history is
doesn't it?
bound to repeat itself.
Hmm.
Why not? You just made the great comparison. Josh Allen's Peyton Manning. 7th year, you beat Brady, win the Super Bowl. 7th year, Josh Allen, you could beat Mahomes and potentially go to the Super Bowl.
Hmm.